Hey, welcome to the Chronicle YouTube channel. I'm Busta Brown, your host, and in front of the camera is the beautiful Mary Carlton. How are you today?
I'm doing good.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
How you feeling?
I'm well.
Yeah, you well?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Man, you have a very interesting book.
Yes.
Front Pew Abuse. The title is very catchy. You were married to a minister.
Yes.
Gospel comedian.
Yes.
Respected in the church.
Yes.
Respected for his craft. Here's the crazy thing. Treated you beautifully.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about how he treated you.
He treated me really good. I felt like that I was a queen the first at least 2.5 years. He held my hand in public, showed affection, told me I was beautiful every day.
Right.
Would call me, say, you don't have to cook today what he want to eat. Sometimes he would cook for me. We laughed, we joked, we played every day, found something to laugh about, regardless of how bad our day was. So, he treated me good in that aspect.
Even the public affection, holding hands, all that good stuff.
Yes, had no problem showing that to me.
Wow. But
the big but is that probably about 2.5 years after we were married, I learned that he was still seeing a lady that he was involved with before me. And that was very hurtful.
No signs at all.
No signs at all.
Wow.
None.
And when I say no signs, wasn't that situation where you were ignoring everything that was right there?
No, because he was always with me.
Right.
If he had to go to do a show or to preach, if I wasn't with him, he was always calling me, letting me know where he was, what was going on. I could call him, he'd pick up the phone. If he didn't pick up the phone, he would call me right back. So there were no signs at that point that I knew of or felt. We always have that intuition.
So you were truly blindsided.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And the book is called Front Pew Abuse.
Yes.
Why did you decide to write this book?
Because I wanted to be the face and the voice of women who has gone through the same thing or going through the same thing at this time, to let them know that even though the storm comes and you feel like that you're alone, you may knock you down, God is a provider, he is a healer, and he is a keeper, and he can strengthen you through these difficult times.
So you don't want, your purpose is for those women out there that feel complacent, feel alone, like there's nowhere else to go.
Yes.
That happiness is there.
It's there, and it's not sitting on that front pew knowing that you're being mistreated, you're feeling all that turmoil on the inside while you're a husband and even a man. If you're married to a female who is crazy at home, you don't have to be on that front pew and all that turmoil. Because it's not happiness.
Right.
You fooling the people in the church. But there are some people in church that because they are close to God, they know that relationship is not what it's supposed to be. They just don't say anything.
So that's where the front pew abuse, that's where the title comes from.
Yeah.
The fronting in the church.
Yes, the
fronting in the church. Your story is interesting because there was no physical abuse. There was no verbal abuse.
No.
This was a good guy.
Yes.
So get into the part of the forgiveness, the part that if the infidelity was the only thing that you had to deal with, how do you explain that to women saying, hey, good guy, but...
Well, the thing is you have to keep your ears to God's lips.
Okay.
You will have people saying to you, if I was you, I would do this and I would do that.
Right.
But you have to hear God, and he has to be the one to lead you through the difficult situation that you're going to. Because if you make a step on what somebody else told you or on what you feel, you might miss your blessing, because it may be that God is going to turn that man around.
Right.
So forgiveness is a process.
Right.
Some things when you hurt, you might, okay, if he, for instance, he didn't put down the toilet seat, that's easy to forgive.
Right.
But but if you are blindsided like I was and you're hurt deeply emotionally, that's a process.
Right.
Forgiveness, that type forgiveness is a process. It don't happen just like that.
Right. So were there any efforts to fix this?
I asked him to go with me to counseling,
Okay.
and he refused. He told me that it was my issue that I had to deal with.
Got you.
I prayed, I anointed, I gave him a chance.
Right.
But after, 8 months, and I found out, he was still having contact with her, I had no other choice.
What are some of the things women are going to learn in this book?
They will learn that God is a provider. Some women may be afraid to leave because of finances. They're afraid of being alone. But the thing is, or they might be afraid that he's going to go see another woman. Well, if he's doing it, he's going to do that anyway. As far as like the provision, God said he would never leave us nor forsake us. He said he would provide for us what we needed. Provide provision for me and my son. I had to file bankruptcy. I had to go to food banks to make sure that me and my son ate. I had to go to get assistance paying my power bill. God said he would provide. He didn't say how, but at that point, that was his provision for me. That's a humbling situation when you're not used to that.
So in the book, the women are going to find out how you can go through something like that and God pulls you out.
He will pull you out.
That's fantastic.
He will pull you out.
What are some of the places this book has taken you?
I have been to Columbia, South Carolina, to the You Are Worthy conference. I've been on the talk with Harriet Robeson out of Richmond, Virginia. I've been with the Christian Women Alliance out of Windsor, Virginia. I've even been able to talk a little bit on the Steve Harvey show. I've been to the Love Church with Pastor Friday and Lady Friday.
Right.
I've been to New Life Community Church with Pastor Carl Gray and Lady Vicky Gray, but just a number of places that I've been able to go because of this book.
What kind of feedback you've gotten about this book? Because, some people may take it as, hey, is she advocating for a divorce? And when we read this book, will it explain that that's not something you're doing?
It will explain that, because I feel like that God's will is that if two people can work it out, that's what he wants them to do.
Right.
But one person can't want it and the other person not. But I really feel like that it's explained well in the book that this is not about divorce.
Right. Absolutely. What did you gain from writing this book, Miss Carlton?
Peace.
Okay.
Peace, closeness with God, learning to pick my storms,
Right.
strength,
Right.
transparency.
Yes. Absolutely. So now, after you decided to leave, were there any kind of setbacks because of that?
Well, when I decided to leave, it was 2 weeks after I found out that he was not paying our rent and we were facing eviction.
Right.
And then 2 weeks after my decision to leave, which he had no idea I was leaving, he set the house on fire with me, my son, and 2 of his sons on the inside.
Oh, wow.
And he sprayed racial slurs on the outside the house to make it look like it was racial, as well as setting one of his cars on fire on the inside.
And this made national news. So this is no secret.
This is no secret.
Right.
It's it's
factual.
Yes.
Actual facts. Criminal record. You can check all this stuff out.
Yes.
Public record. How did you not see signs that he was this kind of a guy? When did it all start happening?
I don't want to. I try not to say bad things about anybody.
Right.
But he was just that good to where that everything was smooth. I had no idea.
Wow.
For 2 weeks until the FBI got involved that he was actually the one that set the house on fire.
Wow. Wow.
The FBI got involved on that because it was the racial slurs on that.
But my question to you is, you know, good guy, affectionate, supportive. Where did it all start? When did it all start going bad?
When I learned that his mistress.
So when you approached him about the infidelity, that's when everything else came out.
Well, yeah, some of the things. There's a lot of things that I found out after he went into incarceration.
Right. Okay. So, but what I'm saying is that when the infidelity happened, you approached him. That's when you start seeing more of his darker side. Is what I'm asking.
Yes. Yes.
And then came the house fire.
Yes.
Incarceration. And then what else did you learn?
I learned that he was still involved with her. That he had, and I knew that he was calling her from the jail where he was because he had her an iPhone on his account, and I was able to look at the phone bill to see, who was calling her phone.
Right.
And there was calls coming from the jail, the same number that was calling me. Was calling her.
Calling her. Gotcha.
Yes. From the jail.
Now, as far as those he's never been physically abusive
never,
to you or the
never,
kids at all.
Never.
Wow. When did you talk to him and ask him why would he set the house on fire with you and his children in there?
He said that he felt like his mind was racing and he felt like things were coming down around him. And that's when I asked him, why did you not go talk to someone?
Right. And what was his response?
And, he didn't really have one. And I told him at that point that he would need to, his defense is that he would need to go talk to someone, a psychiatrist, a psychologist, somebody that can, that could diagnose him to see, what is going on with him.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
As deep.
It's deep.
Let's end on a lighter note. Tell us a little bit about your kids. You have a son and a daughter.
I do.
Who was in that house?
Well, my son.
Your son at that time. Thank God he survived.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about your son.
My son is a fun-loving, loves his mama's boy.
Right.
But he is a football player at Wingate University. He was recruited there. Very good kid. Just a great kid. He has been one of my rocks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And your daughter, who's married,
yes,
biggest fan of your book.
She is.
Tell us a little bit about her.
My daughter is really, really my rock.
Right.
She has her mom's back in everything that I do.
Right.
She has made herself my business manager.
Okay.
She's so involved. She does not like for anybody to mess with her mom.
I hear that.
Very protective.
Right.
But she really encourages me. And if there's something that she feels like that I shouldn't do, she lets me know.
She lets you know. And you have a grandbaby.
I do. I have
your
two.
mama or my dear?
I'm G.
G.
I'm G.
Okay.
Yes. My grandson is 11. And I wanted him to call me G Mama, but he could not say that. So he just started calling me G. So now my granddaughter, who will be 3 next month, calls me G as well.
Oh, that's too cute.
Yeah.
And you love to travel.
Yes.
You love to sing. And a retiree of the United States Army.
Army Reserve.
Army Reserve. That's big.
Yes.
Thank you for serving us.
No, you're welcome.
Appreciate you so much. With the situation with Colin Kaepernick, I'll just ask you this real quick. What's your thoughts on that, being a veteran of the United States Army?
I do not think he's disrespecting the flag at all.
Okay.
I think that he's exercising his right of voice to speak, that it is for injustice, regardless of what type of injustice that it is.
Absolutely.
And I do not feel like that he's been disrespectful to the flag.
Absolutely. Well, the book is Front Row Pew Abuse.
Front Pew Abuse.
Front Pew Abuse.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Book and play coming out.
Yes.
What do you want to leave women with? What are they going to get from this book and this play?
They're going to get a story of survival, that God is a provider, God is a keeper, and that you can get forgiveness, or you can get peace through the act of forgiveness.
Absolutely. What did you get from writing this book?
A lot of peace, a lot of strength, transparency, because that was something that I was not about speaking in front of anyone.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Mary Carlton, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And good luck with your book.
Thank you.